I hope you all know that the higher the frequency is, the tighter that beam becomes. And what I mean by that is this. From 540 to 1700 kilohertz, or 0.54 to 17 megahertz, 1.7 megahertz, I had to correct myself. That wavelength is 93 meters, which matches the height of the Eiffel Tower. And when you go up to the gigahertz range, the wavelength becomes centimeters. I think at 3.5, it's about 8.3 something centimeters. Y'all should fact check me on that. Now with that in mind, you take the same overall wattage and create the same exact frequency, again as a thought experiment. If the wavelength of the megahertz ranges are relatively high, the higher in the frequency that you go, the lower the overall wavelength becomes. What do you think happens when we get to the gamma ranges? I'm talking infrared, like not even infrared, like matter of fact, overall color is so precise that every one of our skin follicles, this color, this color, this color, everything on us is so precise to the point it fills everything in. So what do you think is the precision of a gamma ray? Or somewhere beyond that, the ultra gamma ray, where the wavelength is so extremely tiny to the point where you can probably interact with atoms on that scale. So yeah, that's a fun little thought experiment. The higher in frequency you go, the smaller the wavelength. And again, we're not talking about amplitude here, because depending on overall power, your amplitude can change. The amplitude for a 5 hertz system can sound extremely loud when the amplitude is high enough, in comparison to something that's operating at 5 watts outputting a 5 hertz system. You can barely hear it. You could probably feel it, but you can barely hear it. Whereas with the first system, the power would have to be extremely high for that to even be the case. And even then, your body would feel it. And if so, get away from that system. Your body is going to mechanically vibrate from having an extremely low hertz being outputted from that system, while also being loud enough to be heard. Again, it still depends on the overall output, because something like this can be a 5 hertz system. You heard it, but it also produced the harmonic thereof, because it wasn't a true 5 hertz frequency. It was just a 5 hertz impulse response that was ringing out a constant 458 hertz system, or 1128 hertz system. You see where I'm going with this? Frequencies are lovely and complex, and I love that. You can have a system output a harmonic while operating at the driver frequency too, as long as that driver frequency output is kinetic, aka mechanical, so that the impulses are there. Meaning utilize the impulses for the audible frequencies that you want to be driver, and have the secondary sympathetic resonance be the overall object that you're affecting, the resonator in this case, or the tuning fork in this case. And once you realize that, you realize how you can really have a single source binaural system that operates on impulses and sympathetic resonance. Huh. I shape is serious.